This conference will now be recorded.
Welcome to the DevSprint 007. So we are going to talk about today data science as part of the 7th edition of the DevSprint. And today our topic is in detail and insights of data science. Okay. So what actually we are going to talk here? Data science, we can use the different skills, but main our focus is that how to use the data science using the Python. So using the Python, what are the skill set we have it, how to improve our knowledge, and how to get into that. Those things we are going to explore it today, which will give you the complete idea, okay, and from end to end. So first, let's get started. What is the data science? Okay, just give me a second, guys. I'm going to remove this. Okay, now, yeah. So what is the data science? Data science is an interdisciplinary field. So when I say interdisciplinary field, it deals with the different skills, not just one skill. It's not like a language. It is not like one framework we are talking about. This is all about a bigger skill, bigger area where we have the multiple skills we are going to learn. So it's all about like processing, algorithms, and also we mainly talk about unstructured data. So mainly it deals with the data, right? And especially unstructured data. That is where we are now. So big companies are investing a lot of money on the data science skills because they have a lot of unstructured data in their databases. How to get insights from these data structures and using this in data science techniques. Okay, so why should I learn data science? It is the biggest question comes to everybody, right? And data is a huge now, everybody knows it's a fact, right? So there are so many websites are talking about in this 21st century, this is one of the biggest technology drive is going to lead the world. And according to the Glassdoor, average salary of the data scientist is huge, and there are 2.7 million data science analyticals are required by the mid of 2021. It is very important skill when you actually look into that. And also it is going to be fastest growing job on the LinkedIn. It is predicted to create millions of the jobs by 2026. So all these, the whatever you are seeing on my screen, which are already drawn from the statistics from the LinkedIn, Glassdoor, different websites. And one of the most important thing is when you talk about the data science, there are some area we can also talk about artificial intelligence. By actually, there's 450% of the share of job requiring AI has increased since 2013. Means rapidly job opportunities and skills it is completely diverted into the data science part. Still, why I need to learn Python and applying this Python in the data sciences? Because we have so much of libraries when compared to the different languages. That is one of the main reason we can go for the Python. We can also use the R language. We can use the different Julia. We can use SAS. We can use the Java language. Different languages is there. But why we need to use the Python? Because there are so many libraries are available in the technology world. We can use them. So what are there and all we can discuss in the next slides. First question, why data is so important nowadays? Yes, because if you compare to the 10 years back, data which is very less. It is everybody knows this fact. But now there are 3.7 billion humans are using the internet now. And even if you look at that, India has also having the largest India and China. They have so much of population using the internet daily. Now e-commerce is there. Now everything is on online, right? So data is the huge now. So if you can look at on my screen, on average, Google is now processing the more than 40,000 searches, right, per second, and 3.5 billion searches per day. So you can understand how many people are using internet in a day. It's all about data. Everybody is looking for the data. Everybody is behind the scenes of the data, right? Even if somebody is looking for if you are trying to look for the weather information, the weather channel receives these many forecast requests every day from the world. Every minute on the social media, there are so much is going on, right? If you talk about the Twitter, the 456,000 tweets are sending on the Twitter. There's so much is going on. It's not only about the data using the text, it is a data about images, videos, the multi types of data is going around the globe. It's all we already know it. But if you look at the Twitter, Facebook, Google, Apple, or like insurance companies, banking companies, this data is increasing daily. Everyday data is increasing. How to handle this data is the biggest question. So from the data, we can draw the insights, how the customer is actually looking for the product. And also second thing is how to improve the sales of the customers. That is also important. How to bring the new features to the customers. These are all important when it comes to the data analysis and using the data. Data analysis is also part of the data science, and which is going to help the companies to grow their businesses in terms of building their own products and reaching the customers with in terms of bringing the great products and competitive world, right? That's where companies are investing a lot money on the data side. Data is very very important, and which is going to tell us like how the business is, what direction we can move the business. That's all about, right? That's where actually we actually talks about this one, right? So next, actually, what is the data science? Which area we need to focus? Okay. For example, if you want to become a data scientist, what is my area? What is my goal? Right. So this is where we have to invest a lot time, and which are the skills we need mainly. Right. So what are the skills we need for the data science? There are, like when you look at on my screen, if you can see, first thing is the business research, which is very important. This is where we are actually focusing on the business problem, whether we have the data or not. When you have the data, what type of data we are dealing with. So you can take the circle here. First one is the business research, and next one is the big data. So mostly this data science field is dealing with the big data. When I say the big data, it is contains the structural and unstructured data. When I say structural data, it's mainly like a structural query language we use, SQL. When you go to the like unstructured language, unstructured data, that is talks about NoSQL databases, MongoDB and all, we have it. So once you have the data, how much data is required to solve my problem? So for that, we can go for the data wrangling. It's nothing but ETL processing, where which data, how much data is required to solve your problem. That's where our focus is. Once we get the required information, required data, and we'll apply the data analysis. If you want to do the very good analysis, we need to know the statistics. Statistics and mathematics is behind the scenes to do the analysis. Once you do the analysis, you'll know that what kind of problem I can solve it. For that, we can go for the machine learning. Data modeling is nothing but a machine learning and AI. So here AI is going to come into the picture. So what is going to do? It is going to do something called predictive analysis and bringing the what kind of data we can do that. So companies basically look for after the analysis, which model we can build it. AI modeling in the sense it talks about the machine learning and deep learning, right? I'll give little insights later after the slides. We'll get more clarity. So once we have the modeling, we are going to go for the data visualizations. Here we have the Tableau, business intelligence tools, a lot of data visualization tools we have it. Okay, and this area is like which is very important. Visualize the data. See, if it is a 2,000 records, 10,000 records, 20,000 records, you can easily visualize the data. But if I have the 2 billions, 2 trillions data, I have it in my system, how can I visualize? So data visualization is going to play a very important role when you have the structure and unstructured data, which is a huge in the volume. That's important, right? So once you build your product, and if it is there in the production, you have to monitor. So data monitoring is also plays very important role when it is also part of the data science, right? All these are all very main important fields which we are going to talk about data science. Okay, so AI is involved here, big data is involved, ETL is involved, and visualization is involved, and the DevOps data monitoring is involved. It's a group of different skills is actually talks about the data science. So nobody can say like, okay, if I know only machine learning and artificial intelligence, we should not claim ourselves we are the data scientist. So data scientist is having the knowledge of all these fields. To become a data science, it will take minimum 5 years to work on the different projects. We need to gain all this knowledge. Okay, there is no any for example, if you know only statistics, it doesn't mean like you know the data science. Okay, we need to be getting to all these levels. Okay, data preparation, data gathering, and data analysis, and data modeling, data visualization, data monitoring. It is the end-to-end life cycle of the data science. So let's go to the another slide which will give the complete flow how the data science is actually deal with that. The first important of the data science, 80% of the data science is depending on the business problem. We have to understand as a data scientist what is the business problem I'm going to solve here, which is the field, whether it is a banking problem or like it's marketing analysis, is it something like predicting the data, or something you should know what problem you are solving it. So 80% of the success will come when you know the business problem. If you don't know the business problem, you don't know what data you want to deal with that, what kind of model you want to build it, what kind of tools you want to use it, you don't know. So first thing is we have to invest more time on the business problem. So I've seen that most of the people nowadays, they are simply going to the Python, writing the code and seeing the results from the GitHub. Of course, that's fine. Main important thing is understanding the problem. What problem we are doing it? What is the purpose of it? That's most important. Is one of the major skill for the data scientist, right? Okay, so you know the problem, you know the business problem. What is the next step? My next step is understanding the data. So once you know which data, how the data is there in the different places, maybe you are using the 6 servers, each server is having the different data is coming. One server might be using the like unstructured data, another server is in the structural data. So if you go to the Facebook is in the different types of databases. Some portion of the data they use the SQL, for example Oracle, MySQL. So some portion of the data they go for the NoSQL. So we can say that MongoDB, or we can say like Apache Cassandra. There are different databases we have it. So when you use the different databases, we'll get the data. After that we need to processing. Data processing is nothing but data wrangling, means we have to bring the data, how much data is important. Assume that you have your client has the data like 4.5 billion records, but you don't need 4.5 billion records to solve this problem. You may need only like 20 millions, 200 millions records you need. So you have to understand how much data is required from the actual master database. From the master database we will pull into the actually your staging database. That something is called the data processing. You need to know how much data is required to solve this business problem. Once you have the data, next immediate step is exploratory data analysis, which is one of the most challenging step for the data scientist. And this is also some people play a role called data analyst. Data analyst or data scientists will come into this picture. They do more work on the exploratory data analysis. Here more analysis will come. So what you are going to do with this data, and what is your solution you are going to provide to your problem? That's where this exploratory data analysis will come. So once you know the analysis, next immediate step we are going to do is something called modeling. What is the data modeling? The modeling here, machine learning engineers come into the picture. As a data scientist, if you know the machine learning skills, we can build the modelings here, right? So exploratory data analysis is the data analyst. Here data modeling is actually talks about the data machine learning engineer or AI engineer, or sometimes we can say that completely data scientist also plays this role. So once you build the model, the building the model is nothing but ML model, machine learning model, and after that we are going to visualize the data after the how the data is actually looks. Okay, what kind of results we got before modeling, after modeling, how our data looks. That's most important. Once you're done with all these things, we have to go to the production and deploy this product, right? And we need to maintain that one after the monitoring. Here DevOps engineers will come into the picture, right? Deploy and maintenance and monitoring basically deals by the DevOps engineer. Exploratory data analysis deals by the data analyst. Data modeling is by the machine learning engineers. Data visualization is by the Tableau or different business intelligence tools we have it, we can use it. So data processing, pre-processing is all like ETL developers can do. Data acquisition is also like a big data engineers can do. All these group of skills as a data scientist you should know, right? We should know all these skills, and there are different tools we can use, different stages. So in the big data I can use the PySpark, I can use the Apache Hadoop. So data pre-processing I can use the Informatica. So different tools is the exploratory data analysis I can go for the Pandas. So data modeling I can go for the machine learning like scikit-learn, okay, or like TensorFlow. Data visualization I can go for the Matplotlib, okay, or like a Tableau, different tools we have it. In the deployment and maintenance cycle, go for the Docker, Kubernetes, and there are AWS, different tools we have it for the cloud environment. The monitoring, I can do the monitoring after that. So to visualize the data, we have so many DevOps monitoring tools also there to visualize the data after how the application is performing. As a data scientist, we have to play all these roles. Okay, next important question. I want to become a data scientist. What kind of skills I want? Okay, main three things. One is the statistics, another one is the mathematics, and the last one is the programming. If these three, you have to know it, right? If you want to become a fully complete, okay, data scientist, you should know all these skills. What are these? Statistics, mathematics, and programming. So let's talk about the statistics. There are two types of the statistics we have it. So one is the descriptive statistics, inferential statistics. It basically talks about all these machine learning models, all these AI models behind the scenes is actually statistics is there, which is plays very important role how to deal with this. In the mathematics, we want to know the linear algebra, calculus, and probability. So probability also plays
Raja,
very important. Yeah, go ahead.
Raja, one doubt. So, what is the
Hmm.
difference between data engineer and data scientist?
Data
Data engineer, data scientist.
data engineers basically deal with the primary stage. So when you talk about the previous slide, we have like different stages. Data engineer deal with only data pre-processing and big data concepts. He doesn't know about how to build AI models. He don't know how to deal with the analysis. He don't know how to deploy the products. So mainly data engineer knows how the data looks at the master database, how to bring the data into the next level. That stage only data engineer plays a most important role. It is a primary stage of data processing. Whole flow diagram, if you take, first two primary stages only the data engineer will come into the picture. That's where his role and responsibilities are there. Okay. So the next one is your linear algebra, calculus, probability. These are all very important mathematics we want to know for the machine learning. Okay, these are all very basics only. For example, when I say linear algebra, we have linear equations. When I say linear equations, y is equal to mx plus c. Y is nothing but dependent variable, and x is the independent variable. M is the slope, c is the constant. Basically, we write a straight line. If you want to draw the straight line by using the points, we need to know the linear equation. That's called y is equal to mx plus c. Similarly, there are so many equations are there. The calculus, which will plays very important role. Probability is also important. It will tell that how many chances are there to get that output. So it's all about like this skill. Programming. So there are many popular programmings are there for the data science. Mostly people prefer the Python and R language. Okay, you should also know the SQL because we are dealing with the databases here, right? So Python, R, and SQL, which are very important to deal with and also there are so many languages are there. Java we can use. We can also use the different skills we can use. But only thing is there is a limitations when you go for the other languages. So these are all like complete skills. You should know how to go into that level. Let's talk about mathematics and statistics, clear idea. When I say maths, linear algebra in the sense it deals with the vectors, matrices, linear equations, sigmoid equations, something like that. When I say linear equations, we can use for to build great models like that. Probability, which is very important for to build the maths. I'm writing the probability in the two places. So we should know some concepts in the maths and also in the statistics. So completely this descriptive and inferential statistics. There are two types of this statistics, descriptive and inferential. When I say descriptive means what is the mean of the data, what is the mode, what is the median, and what is average data. Like if you take the 5-6 rows, what is the average, what is the mean, what is the mode, right? What is the standard deviation? All these calculations will come into the descriptive analysis. When you go to inferential statistics, it deals with the so much of insights. But descriptive talks about complete data, inferential talks about sample data, right? That's where actually little difference is there. But we use the probabilities. There are 40 plus distribution systems are there. When I say distributions, like we have so many distributions. One of the most used one is the conditional distributions, normal distributions, There are many distributions we can use in the data science field. So let's go to the calculus here. The calculus is also plays very important role for the to build the models. This is the behind the scenes on the machine learning models. When you say machine learning models or data science concepts, when you talk about the data modeling and data analysis, these things will come. For data pre-processing, this is not required. Only for the data analysis and the data modeling, we can go for these skills. Okay, this plays very important role. Next one is the data analyticals. Okay, so what is the data analysis we do? There are four types of the data analysis: descriptive analysis, diagnostic analysis, predictive analysis, prescriptive analysis. What happened in the past is the descriptive. Why did it happen is the diagnostic. Predictive is like what is going to happen in the future is the predictive, and prescriptive is how can we make it happen. So these are all the different types of the data analysis problems data scientist is dealing with that. Okay, it is not just like writing a Python code. It's all about important how you are analyzing the data, how you're actually solving the problem. So a good data scientist having the understanding the business problem rather than writing the code. Like I saw that many people are nowadays investing a lot of time writing the code. The coding you can do later. The main thing is you should understand the business problem, how this problem can be solved. When your experience is increasing day by day, you should know how to solve the business problems and what types of the business problems we can solve in the data science. And then it comes to the data analysis. In the data analysis only we are talking about these types. When you talk about the fast, that is one type of analysis. You are predicting something in the future, that's called machine learning. There we talk about the predictive analyticals. There are different types of the analyticals we are dealing with this. And the next important thing is, you can see on my slide, data science tools. What are these data science tools? If you can ask me, at the big data level, we have the SQL and no SQL. Mainly we deal with the unstructured data, right? Structural and unstructured. And the data wrangling, okay? Basically, it is like one of the major steps when we are going to follow and building the applications, right? When you're actually going to build this data wrangling, we should know that what kind of skills we are going to use it. Okay, here like Apache Spark, Apache Hadoop, SAS, Power BI, basically dealing with big data concepts. Of course, big data and data wrangling, which is a combination way we can bring it up. And next, EDA. EDA means exploratory data analysis. We use the Python or R language, SAS, Julia, 9, Microsoft Excel tool. Excel is a very old traditional way people follow the to draw the data analysis, but nowadays we have the so many tools. And similarly, we have the data transformation tools called the ETL. Here we have the Informatica, Oracle Data Integrator, SAS, many tools are there. And the next one is to build the model, we have the machine learning concepts. For that, Python, R, Julia, scikit-learn, scikit-image, Weka, RapidMiner, these are all the different frameworks and programming language skills we have it on this. So whatever I listed, this is the combination of programming languages plus frameworks plus tools. That combination I have given here. The data visualization is also there, Tableau, QuickView, and Find Report. These are all talks about the data visualization tools. And the deep learning, which is a very powerful tool nowadays. For that, we have one of the famous framework is called a TensorFlow, which is from the Google. PyTorch is from the Facebook. There are different. Cafe is also from the Facebook only, and Microsoft Cognitive Toolkit is from the Microsoft. There are different tools we have it, right? And if you look at my next slide, okay, here what kind of technologies we can use to build our knowledge here. So basically we can use the NumPy, Pandas, SciPy, Matplotlib, and for data, if you want to data, right, if you want to work on your data, you have to go for the Kaggle and OpenCV. There is a Jupyter notebook. These are all tools we should know when you want to get into the Python world. Whatever the things which you are seeing on my screen, which are related to the Python. Only Python tools I listed here. As a data scientist, if you are working on towards to the Python, you should know what kind of tools we are dealing with. Python is one of the major language we use for to build these tools, right? And also where we use these data science applications, there are so many are there, right? Recommendation systems. When you go to the YouTube, if you are watching the sports related videos, next time it will show that information only. Or else if you go to the Netflix, when you're watching the horror movies, next time it will show horror movies on the top in the list. So My point is to tell you here, so the recommendations, it can be done by using the machine learning. That is nothing but a predictiveness. The predictive analysis is there behind the recommendation systems. Next one is the virtual assistant apps. So we have the Amazon. And Amazon, what is a virtual assistant app? We have it. Anybody knows? What is a virtual assistant app in the Amazon, which is very famous, right? You know?
Alexa.
Alexa. Alexa, which is a very popular one for the virtual assistant apps. Even Apple Siri is also there, which is also one of the popular virtual assistant apps. So if you want to build any chatbots, and we can use a virtual assistant app. So that is also like a machine learning. Basically, we use, but we should know the what problem you are solving. It is also data science application. Predictive analysis plays very important role in the data analysis and fraud management. For example, if someone is trying to climb the policies, right? So for that is also one of the major issue. Like if you really not done any accident, if you are trying to go and to make the claim for your insurance, for car insurance, whatever it is there, so we have to write the models to predict like whether it is a fraud or not. So fraud management, speech image recognition, which is also powerful, gamings, digital marketing, finding the new drug discovery. Recently, Alibaba invested a lot of money on the for coronavirus. So they are trying to find new drug discovery by using the AI technologies. If you are so much interested, type in Google new drug discovery by Alibaba. You'll get a lot of interesting stories, these recently stories. Because all is happening now. It's all about because of data, we can build great applications. We are already using these applications nowadays in our daily life with the different apps. So if you want to build these apps, okay, we need to know about the data sciences, okay, and machine learning. So if you can see, there are some books. If you are interested, and you can get these books from the internet, and you will get more idea. Please go on mute. Okay, so we have the different data science books here, and data science from the scratch for the business, Python data analyticals, so and data science for the layman, data science dummies. So these books are available. I will also share these books later in our group. We'll also get some more ideas about this. We have to understand what is happening with the business. I'm going to tell you data science for business, which is a very important step. The people who is having the more than 10 years of experience, they should know like how actually it is dealing with the businesses with respect to the like customer requirements and all, which is plays very important role, right? Data science books are placed, we have to read that one. Next question comes, what exactly tools I can use? Anaconda is one of the most popular tool which we use. It's not a tool, it's like an ecosystem we are going to use. I'm going to show you shortly in a minute. And what is Anaconda? It is a data science platform, the where you can write your develop your data science applications and for that we have the Jupyter notebook, and also VS Code we have it. We can also use the Python. We can also use the like Spider. Different tools are there. We can use it. So Jupyter Notebook is nothing but interactive Python tool where we can use like to write like a machine learning code and all, right? So there we can write data science analysis information and all. So most of the data science people use this one, Jupyter Notebook, right? So where should I start learning the data science? It is one of the biggest question people comes always in mind. So first you start understanding the data analysis tools. You have to decide whether you have to go for the Python or R language. Okay, you decide which language you want to prefer. The people who comes from the statistics background, they prefer the R language. The people who actually from the computer computer science background, they go for the Python mostly, the preferred way. So we can also go for the Java also, we can do it, but which is very limited. We cannot do much on that part. Okay, so basically you must know one programming language, either Python or like R. Okay, so these two languages are available mostly now. So you have to select which language it is there. After that you have to understand the data analysis tools. So in Python there is a package system called Pandas, NumPy, SciPy, Matplotlib. There are different modules are there. So once you understand those modules, we can build the data analysis. So first one is the programming language. Next one is the data analysis, and the third thing is like statistics and mathematics. and finally machine learning, basics of machine learning. When you know these
Raja,
concepts,
one question there.
go ahead.
For what do you suggest for non-mathematics or non-computer science background people? Which language would be better?
Uh, if you're okay, when you say you don't know statistics, you don't know mathematics, better you can go for Python only. Choice is Python, because we can easily understand the concepts, and we can easily build the models, because Python takes only like a few lines of code to achieve the bigger things. So I can easily build virtual assistant app just by using the 30 lines of code. But generally that is not possible in the other languages, because there is no such libraries are available there. Okay, so I strongly suggest you go for Python. If you are not having anything in your mind, like you don't know statistics, you don't know mathematics, you are not from the statistic background, better to choose the Python, which is the easiest way of learning the languages. We can go for it. Okay, it's my personal suggest. Definitely it will give the great results, because of we have the modules, and you can open up your ideas. We can write a lot of code according to that, but we cannot open your ideas when you go for the different languages, which is very limited, and we need to struggle a lot to build the great products. Okay, and starting point is the Python, and next immediate starting point is understanding the Pandas. Pandas plays very important role for data analysis. Okay, so next one is the differences between the Jupyter and Jupyter Notebook. This is one of the important questions. Sorry, Jupyter and Jupyter Lab. I mistakenly written the Jupyter Notebook there. Jupyter and Jupyter Lab. So Jupyter Notebook is a web-based interactive computational environment for creating the Jupyter notebooks, and basically it is using the, how many of you know, I don't know here, Jupyter stands for, J stands for Julian, JU stands for the Julian, PY is nothing but Python, right? So PYTE is nothing but Python, and R stands for the like R language. So three language combination only this notebook name is mentioned. And finally there is a Jupyter Lab, which is also next generation user interface, which including the notebooks and all markdowns and many informations are will be there in the Jupyter notebook. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you some interesting information from the internet. You'll get some idea now. So what I'm going to do, so just go on Google and type Anaconda, so you'll get some tool. Okay, the people who don't know about Anaconda, we can have a look into this. So Anaconda is the world's most popular data science platform. Okay, and there itself is saying that it is a free and open source, we can get it, but there is also paid version is there only for the companies. I just open the website. So data science technology, a competitive edge. So when you go to this, you can get the three things here. So individual edition, team edition, enterprise editions. Of course, we don't bother about these two, team edition and enterprise editions. Basically, you have to know, understand the what is this. Let's go to this data science toolkit. You can download this one. Okay, it is an open source package. You can download, and it will install, but it will be a combination of Jupyter, SciPy, NumPy. When I say NumPy, numerical Python, SciPy is a scientific Python, and Jupyter is the tool we can build this one. There are so many. When I say sklearn is actually scikit-learn, which talks about machine learning package. The Pandas, it deals with the data analysis. There are different combination tools, we have it here. Okay, so let me open the Anaconda already installed in my system. You'll get some little idea. People who don't know about Anaconda will get some idea here, and that will be helpful to you. Okay, so Anaconda we can use for both machine learning and as well as the data analysis. Okay, so when I say data science, which is equal to big data plus data analysis plus and AI. So remember, data science people should know all these things. Okay, you can see on my screen, these are all the tools by default will come. Okay, the environment is the base environment you can see on my screen, but you can create your own environments whenever you need. Here we have the Jupyter Lab, Jupyter Notebook, and also Spider and Orange and all. So Spider, Jupyter, and you can below you can see there is R Studio VS Code, right? So if you want to build, if you want to write some code in the R language, go for the R, but like it's up to you. And also we have the VS Code, and also we have the different tools. But now I'm opening the Jupyter Notebook, right? Which there we write your code, right? The Jupyter Notebook is going to help you a lot to write the code. You can see that I have some of the codes which I'm going to show you here. data science is there, and let me go to this one. For example, matplotlib is there. Okay, so here I can create diagrams like this. These are already existing code in my system. I'm just showing it how to create the cos theta, sin theta, trigonometric functions, some visualizations tools. So you can see immediately output after the cell. Here cell by cell is there. Each cell we can execute the code. We get the output immediately, right? So not only that one, we can also build. So NumPy is there. Analysis we can see. For example, let me go to the pandas. In pandas, I will talk about something. If you go to the pandas, you can read the all the files. You can read the data from the databases. You can read from the CSV file, HTML file. Right now, you can see on my screen, I'm reading the information about the US vehicles. It is there on my screen. I'm reading all the Excel sheet directly here, right? So like that, we can do analysis directly. This Pandas is one of the main important library in the Python, which we can use to like do for the analysis. When I go to the Pandas, let me show you the tool names. If you can go type here, NumPy. NumPy is a numerical Python, as I told you, right? So it is a fundamental package for the scientific computing the Python, which we can use it for that, right? We can download this one. And also next one is the which are the tools. As I told you, Pandas, which plays very important role. Just typing the Pandas now. Let's go to the Pandas. It is also Python library for the data analysis. So NumPy is the numerical for matrices, vectors, and all. We can do it here. NumPy for the reading the files, which is a two-dimensional analysis. We can do with the Pandas. For example, if you want to show something on the graphical representations, especially like visualizations tools, we can go for the matplotlib. So matplotlib is also third-party library in the Python. So we can show these kind of visualization tools. We can see on my screen now. Okay. Not only these tools, there are different tools are there. If you go to the examples, you can see the lot of different combination tools are there. Right. Tomorrow, whichever the way you want to show this data into the different representations, we can go for this. Right. So one of the most advanced visualization tool is also library is also available. That's called Seaborn. Seaborn is a statistical data visualization tool which is actually built top on the matplotlib. So it is also we can use to build these analysis tools. We can also see something called gallery. There we can find how which graphs you want to implement. Right. For example, assume that there is a stock market. In the stock market, there is every day there is so much of buying and selling is happening for the shares. Like if you want to visualize that data, we can build because it has the huge data and fraction of seconds there is so much of buys and sells is going on, right? So that time also those kind of applications also we can use this one. So NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and the Seaborn, which are very popular and important tools for the data analysis. And one more important thing is the SciPy. SciPy is nothing but scientific Python, which we can use for the advanced mathematics. Okay, so SciPy, NumPy is for the mathematics, and the Pandas is for the data analysis, reading the data from the files, and the Matplotlib and the Seaborn is for the visualizing the data. There we can use it. Okay, so like that, these tools are there, which is very important that the data scientists, the way they can invest their time and all. That's where it come into the picture. This is for the data analysis I'm talking about. If you want to become a machine learning engineer, the first important thing is the scikit-learn, right? Scikit-learn is there. I've written the wrong spelling, but anyway, scikit-learn. sklearn I can write here. Right. So when actually if you want to use it like a different tools here, let me write here. Yeah, sklearn. I simply call it as sklearn. Okay, this is actually one of the most useful Python machine learning library. The way people start. It's a basic machine learning, right? Here we deal with the classification problems, regression problem, clustering. If you want to predict whether it is a male or female, you can go for the classification. If you want to predict a value, what is the tomorrow's weather condition, what is the temperature, you can go for the regression problems. Like that, we have the different problems we can speak about this. Is all about different concepts in the machine learning. If you want to go to the deep learning, there is something called the TensorFlow, which is one of the most powerful and mostly used one in the industry. You can also go for the TensorFlow. What is the TensorFlow? is one of the deep learning framework which is from the Google, okay, which we can use. After the machine learning, we can go for this one, TensorFlow, and it is also there for the JavaScript, but main TensorFlow is built on the Python, so it is deep learning people is going to build this. Not only TensorFlow is from the Google, and also we have something called the PyTorch, so which is actually from the, do you know where? It is actually from the Facebook. Facebook is actually developed for this one. So this is the Facebook. These also like to build great products on the deep learning platform using the Python, right? So like that, there are many tools, okay? And PySpark is also there for the big data level. We have the PySpark. So when you actually want to use the PySpark, we can do this. This is also one of the most popular one for this, okay? So data science is, in single word, it's a group of different skills if you want to become it, right? From the end to end, understanding the problem statement, analysis, retrieving the data, extracting the data, and then finally like visualize the data and deployment. But deployment will go for the AWS, Amazon Web Services, like Microsoft Azure, or different tools are there, okay? So it's end-to-end ecosystem. It's end-to-end ecosystem where we can get a lot of information and everything, right? So that's all about data science introduction today. So if you have any questions, you can ask me. I'm going to stop the recording now.